How y'all doing tonight? So I'll give it a couple minutes for people to get in here. Welcome, Fishy on. Someone tell me in the chat if you guys can see and hear me. So we got Fishy on in here. We got Frank Basanta. Welcome. Monster Fish Girl. Thank you for showing up. LJ, how you doing? What's up, Mark and Pelham? Got Big Shrimp in. So today's stream, I'm just going to be showing all the different lights that I've got and some of my pros and cons for each. Hopefully it helps some of you guys decide which ones you guys want to get in the future. And I did write on the front of each tank which light I'm running on each. That way you guys can kind of see and determine for yourself which ones might be most suitable for your situation. So this first tank here is a Marineland portrait tank. And the light that came on it was really, really weak. And so I upgraded it to a Haiger clip-on light. And after the stream, I'll leave a link in the description for each one of these lights. That way you guys can find them easier. It's not an affiliate link at all. It's just where I found it, which was Amazon. That's where I ordered all of these lights. But this Haiger light is my newest light that I've bought. Maybe about a month and a half ago or so. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with it, but so far it's growing the plants fairly well. I've had to trim the water sprite several times since installing this light. And recently I decided to just rip it out of the substrate and float it. And we're going to be doing a new aquascape in there soon. But so the pros are it does grow the plants fairly well, but the cons on it, you can't really adjust specific times to ramp up and ramp down and all of that. It does have a day and night timer where it can go day mode and night mode, but you can't really adjust the timing of that independently yourself. It's just all pre-programmed. So for that, you know, it's easy to use for a beginner, but I personally like to have a little bit more customization with it. So let's see who else popped in here. Welcome, Coro. How you doing? We got Jason in here. Patties. How you doing? All right, so let's go to the next tank. Let me pause the camera so you guys aren't getting motion sick. Okay, so the next tank over here, I've got the purple metallics in this tank, but the light I'm using is the Night Crew Planet Plus light. Get this one off from there. It's not what I'm using. So up above the tank here is where I'm running that, and that's powering both of these tanks here. And it's growing the moss pretty good at that height. I do wish that it was a little bit brighter at that height. But the nice part about this light is it is fully adjustable. Let me move the camera quick. So I did have to buy this separately, but you have 6 different timings that you can program into it. with different intensities. So you set the time and then you set the intensity, go through all the steps. And then at the end, it's going to save all of your settings. So even if you unplug the power goes out, you plug it back in, it's still going to save the settings. So that's definitely a plus for me. I don't like having to go through that setting the first time, let alone 10 times whenever I happen to unplug it. All right, let's move you over here now. Okay, so this here was my first plant light that I've ever bought. This is a Nicrew Planted Plus light, and it's just a small version of that same light that I had over there. Definitely very bright, does everything that I need to in a small tank, especially closer down to the glass like this. And again, I did have to buy a controller for that as well. It operates the same exact way though. And if you do need it brighter for like video purpose or something like that, just click the setting button and then the power button, and that's full on. And then you take a look at the Rotala back here. The closer the leaves are, the higher intensity light they're actually receiving. And so I've been using that to kind of gauge the light for myself a little bit. Then this light here, I ordered the wrong size on accident. It's the Nicrew Classic Planted. So it's a really small size compared to the tank, but it's incredibly bright. And that one is on full blast all the time. It's not as customizable as the other one. So it's going to be just like the higher light that's on my beta tank, the clip-on light. And so you have like 3 different intensity modes. And then you can change the color of the light a little bit. It's got a couple presets in there. Change the intensity. So that one's extremely beginner friendly. Everything's pretty much set up for you ahead of time. You know, there's no super customization you can do with that one. Hey, what's up, E-Wizzle? How you doing? Just saw you pop in here. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Steven. Yeah, Steven, I'm so sorry about those morning streams. It's just what works out best for me every day, you know. All right, so we'll move on to one of my favorite lights that I've gotten so far, and that's the Nicrew RBGW light. So it's not the 24/7 light. This is doesn't have the day-night cycle on it, but what it does have with the remote, you can preset the different color spectrum exactly how you want to, and you could also, there's some preset ones on here. Go clouds, you can go lightning storm. It's pretty cool. Probably causes some stress though. You got sunshine and then the moon. So I'm gonna just toss it back on max for now. But I like to personally keep the blue light down a little bit lower. I don't find it's super needed. It does penetrate a lot deeper than the red, green, and white will, but again, it's only a 10-gallon tank, so I don't need it to get down that far. And plus, if you take a look at how close the leaves are on these Rotalas, it's definitely getting enough light. So on the bottom row of my rack, I am running another one of this light. It's just a longer version of it. So that's powering 4 tanks. And then directly below this tank, I'll show you that light, but I'm using the same exact light on these 2 down here. Oh, using the same light on these two down here as I am on my 20 gallon. So I'm gonna pause the camera, turn around, and we'll get over to the 20 gallon. Okay, here's the 20 gallon. And this is my favorite light that I've bought this year. I have had the Nicrew RBGW for longer, but this one I got this year and I absolutely love it. So that's Aqua brand. One thing I didn't like at first about it is it does give everything almost like a lavender type glow to it, but there are different color settings that we could choose from here. So if you don't like the one color, you can always choose a different color spectrum and go with it. And then you can also change the intensity here. But it's growing everything extremely well in this sink. I love it. Just a couple weeks ago, I trimmed back all the Rotalas. They were coming all the way up over the top and shading everything off, so it was a huge mess. That's why I've got some white leaves on this boost up here. But the light's great. I love it. So that's one I definitely recommend. And now for a couple that I don't really recommend and I don't really use anymore. So I am not sponsored by any of these at all. These were purchased with my own money, and I don't expect this brand here to ever reimburse me for this review. This light is miserable. There's like not a lot of power to it. Half the time it'll change the time that it's going for. I mean, this light's on full blast right now, and the amount of dark spots, especially down near the gravel, it's kind of embarrassing compared to the one that was just on it, you know. But it doesn't keep the time properly like it's supposed to. Sometimes it'll turn on at 8 in the morning like I have it set to. Other times it'll wait till noon. Next day it'll be like 3 in the afternoon. It just kind of kicks back a little further and further each time. So I'm not a fan of that higher light at all. And then the other light that I don't really recommend, it's decent, but at the same time, I don't get as much control as their other lights do. And that's going to be this Nicrew bar right here. This is the RGB 24/7 light. So with this one, I can do a day-night cycle on it. So it'll, in the morning, it'll appear like reds and stuff like that. Towards the middle of the day, it gets more of a white light. At night, it stays blue until about 10 o'clock or so at night, I believe it is. And it's all right, but all that blue light, I find grows some algae, and it's just not my favorite. I wish with this one you could still preset which times and how much duration for each of those stages you wish it to be. That would be a huge upgrade for this light if that was possible. But so that's my last light. I do want to mention one good thing for Nicrew lights in general. I've never had one break yet. The Nicrew Planet Plus light that I've got on that Yellow King Kong tank up top of the rack, that one's actually been dipped into the water a couple times accidentally, and it's still turning on. That was my very first light that I've ever bought for plants. So for it to last that long, that's super big for me. All right, let me take a look at chat again, see if we have any questions. Yes, Coral, the Niker Planet Plus light, you can buy an additional controller for it to do the specific timings. And they give you 6 different time slots that you can choose, and then you can choose the intensity. With that light, you can't choose which light spectrum that you want it to do. It's just, do you want 20%? Do you want 50%? 100%? And it gives you 6 different time intervals that you can preset for that. Hey, what's up, Nathan? Hey, Paul, how you doing? So, does anyone have any questions? We got another stream starting up here in a little bit. It's 6 o'clock, I believe. I don't know if I've got any mods in here that can drop that link. Goro, the Higer Planet Light I have does that with 15 sections of the day in the little LCD controller, but it doesn't remember if I'm plugged. Yeah, so this controller that I got only has 6 presets that it allows, but it always saves it for me. I don't know if I'm just getting lucky or what, but on both of them, it's saving for me. Frank, that's Brightwell soil. So the one in the cups is the Escoro, and then what I've got down in the tank itself is the black one. So they're both Brightwell, but one's the brown color, and then the other one's the black. All right, Paul, I'll definitely have to look into that because I am going to be setting up another rack of 12 tanks, so I'll definitely be needing some more lights, that's for sure. So, Nathan, on my tanks, some of them I run for about 10 hours, some of them I run for about 14 hours. The ones that I've got the Nikers on, those are going for about 14 hours a day. I've never tried to do 2 photo periods within the same day, Nathan. Hey, what's up, Xanadu? LJ, I think the Aquarium Co-op already launched their new light on the site. Just looking at it, it's like $150 for the 4-foot light, I believe it was, something like that. So it's definitely a little bit. It's a little bit more expensive than the Nikers that I've been running, but I am kind of curious to see how they perform. So I'm going to take this garbage light back off in here, put the real one back on that I've been using. You can kind of see after looking at the other light for a while how this one looks a little bit lavender in a way. Yeah, there we go. Now all 3 of them are lit. So that's on its full power there. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look into that, Coral. Thanks. Yeah, that 3-year warranty on the co-op lights is definitely something new. Most of the vendors don't give that kind of warranty on their lights. And I don't know if it's because we're putting our lights directly over gallons of water or what, but no one really wants to give that long of a warranty typically. All right. Well, I'm gonna log off now. Give you guys a chance to grab a quick bite to eat before the 6 o'clock stream starts up. I forget who goes next, but there's always someone. So definitely go over to fishfam.link. And there's a really handy calendar over there that you can take a look at to see which streamer's coming up next. Have a great day, everyone.